Welcome back, folks. Today I am doing another reading on Foodie Beauty. This is probably, let me scoot the mic in a little bit closer. Excuse me. This is probably going to be my last one on Foodie Beauty because there isn't much more that's going to be needed when it comes to reading for her. I'm getting from Spirit that the end is rapidly approaching. And that's going to resonate in a number of ways here in just a bit. I am using my 7th Sphere Lenormand cards. They look like this. You can find them on labyrinthos.com. They are wonderful. I've been using them now for a number of years. I've laid her cards out in a 3x3 spread, also known as a portrait spread or known as a 9-card Lenormand spread. So we're going to be discussing what exactly Foodie Beauty has to deal with when it comes to karmic retribution, both in this lifetime, nothing in the next. There will be more karmic retribution from other lifetimes in addition to what she's bringing out of this one that she'll have to deal with in the next lifetime. There's the potential for her next lifetime to be really particularly rough. So this is karmic retribution that's going to stick around for some time, and it's been growing for some time. It's had roots now for a while, and I would say that this tree really started growing around the time that her YouTube channel took off, or the time that she started it. She started attracting attention. That's where this karmic retribution started. She started making choices that have increased the amount of karmic debt that she's going to have to pay off with the universe once she passes into the next lifetime. Okay, she transitions into the next lifetime. That's her central theme, anchor landing on top of the tree, the house of the tree. I'm going to read her corner cards. On the top row, she's got tree and she's got whip. She's got punishment, divine retribution brewing now behind the scenes for quite some time, and part of it involves her health. Got my cards mixed up. So something I noticed right away with her past is that she got news related to her health that was about her health with the mice slowly deteriorating over time. And there's really nothing that she can do. She can pause it, but she can't cure what's been going on now for quite some time. She can't go backwards. There's some things that she could heal if she were of the mindset, of the emotional maturity, the mental maturity, to be able to take that task on. But I see that this is something that's going to grow into the future, even though it's in the past column, in the vertical column. This is going to be on the far left. It's going to be news that continues to grow in the future because she continues to not take care of her health. This news is only going to travel further and harder and become more widespread, partly because of the documentary that Mr. Snowflake's putting out on her right now, but also partly because she's going to be famous for going downhill in spectacular ways. That's coming from Spirit, not from me. I'm in the messenger in this particular case. I say what Spirit asks me to say, what they tell me to say, okay? Health has been deteriorating for quite some time, and it's going to be exposed. This is on her bottom row on the horizontal side. So this is her subconscious, and her corner cards are also here. So this is about the sun, about her decline, her speedy decline, being exposed, being discussed, and also the speedy decline being successful. It doesn't chase the mice away. In this case, the mice are brazen. And mice, in this case, being her deteriorating health, okay? This is not going anywhere. In fact, it's just going to get worse. As the sun rises and as the sun sets, this is going to continue to get worse. Those are words from Spirit. So I've already read the past column, which was tree, rider, and mice. Her middle column, this is her present reality. This is her going into the future, just like in the past column. She's going to continue to have health issues. Here, her reputation is going to stay stuck exactly as she was. She permanently changed how her reputation functioned, and it's dynamic with other people's Like the reactor channels, for instance. She permanently changed everything about that when the Natter era started, okay? So, like, that's just going to stick around. And I feel like, especially with the Salah arc coming to a close eventually in the near future, that it's going to be, like, I heard, I'll link the reading from the past that I did that discussed that I saw there being, like, what did they call it? Koki Olympics 2.0 in the future. Okay? That it's going to be, once again, spectacular 4th of July fireworks, even though she's a Canadian. It's going to be one blowout of a mess. Like a train wreck times 10, 11, 12, 13. Count your way up. She's going to try to get as much money as possible to make herself as comfortable as possible once she knows, well, she already knows that she's inevitably going to land in Canada. That was the plan all along, but she wants as much money from this grift as possible. If she can't have the guy, she'll take the bag, right? So her reputation's going nowhere. There's a lot that she takes lightheartedly about her public reputation. I know that Garden Card isn't here, but because she's on social media, the bouquet is all about everything to do with the social atmosphere. And by the way, the bouquet lands between the tree and the whip on the top row. She's absolutely in a state, well, consciously, how people talk about her, how it continued, the conversation around her continues to grow and expose her for her lies. She sees her exposure as punishment in this particular case, and it just bugs her. It continues to grow, and to be honest, it has roots that go back a number of years. This tree did not spring up overnight, but the consequences have been gradually growing as she's gained attention. Not all attention is good attention, even though with her, she feels like that's not the case at all. Any attention she sees as affection, and I seem to remember in my previous reading how I described like social drama being a form of affection for her. It's the negative attention that she enjoys, that she relishes. She feels, when she's getting any form of attention at all, she feels loved. It's unfortunate. Okay? Let's talk about some of her past and present influences, or past and future influences. These are things that kind of talk about why things that went the way that they did, and also where things will go in the future. With some past influences, we've got whip, anchor, and mice for quite some time. Her punishing her body has been, it's been a long time coming. This has been a deterioration that happened years before she got a channel. I'm seeing an image of her as a child, and I'm suspecting that this particular, it's her struggle with her weight, or her, I don't know that she struggled per se. I think that she's just added pounds pretty easily. I'm not trying to be totally disrespectful, okay? But this has been going on for a long time, especially with the anchor, okay? The anchor is in the center of all this. This is where everything comes back to. The anchor is all about the long term. This ship is not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how big or small the ship may be. It's not going anywhere. Karmic Retribution has her pinned to a wall, so to speak. It's time for true punishment to begin. And it starts with her health, it starts with her body, continues on with reputation, and later on, secrets get exposed, and it's going to be fucking difficult for her. It's going to be straight cream, if you will, from the lol cow. And I hate to put it that way, but in this particular case, it's the truth. It's an inability to get away from public attention, even though the healthiest thing would be for her to go totally offline. She never did that, even though she had multiple opportunities to do so, to change into a different person. But this is at the center. Nothing changed, and so nothing will continue to change. There will be, what I should say is the changes will be destructive. They'll be slow. She doesn't get to escape them. That's the thing, is that karma does catch up to people. And if it seems that someone is escaping karma over and over, that's just karma catching up, gathering information, giving the individual chances to turn things around. There are no more chances. It's time for things to blow up in Chantal's face and Salah's face too. The future influence is the tree. It is the anchor, and it is sun, success, exposure, growth. In not being able to do anything at all is going to continue to propel her into a future that she doesn't want, but she doesn't have a choice. She can't get away from this. These are consequences that have been coming in for a long time, and I wonder if she isn't trying to make enough cash that she can live out bedridden until she passes and transitions back to source, ready for the next or to get ready for the next lifetime. I wonder if there isn't some of that going on. I've already told you about the whip and the book and the sun. That's in her future. That's more karmic retribution. This is a threefold karmic retribution. Once more, her health is going to continue to deteriorate. She's going to continue to get news from the doctor about, and now you've got this medical problem and that health issue. That's part one. Part two is that she's not going to be able to get away from her reputation, to change it, to improve it, she's going to get a reputation for shit show Chantal, basically. She's going to have, that reputation isn't going anywhere no matter what she does. That's the second part. The third part is that she's going to have some secrets that she wanted to keep uncovered forever. Those are all going to be exposed in the future, or most of them, many of them, if not all of them, are going to be exposed from spirit, okay? With her, she appears in her own spread with karmic retribution and in the center row. She lands on top of that house of the coffin, which is a deeply repressed woman who is in dire straits because she has strangled herself on her own karmic debt. She can't get away from this. It's payback time. And this is about to start to play out in a very public way. And that's part of where you see this reputation coming from. Remember that she's in the middle row, okay? She's not going to be able to get away from this. This is going to attract new viewers, all right? But it's not going to be the kind of viewers. They're going to be there to watch the train wreck. Everyone's going to come running to see the train wreck. It's going to be humiliating, embarrassing to see her grovel for attention and do more cartoonish, caricature-ish stuff to get more attention. It's just going to be an endless cycle of humiliation and embarrassment, and she gets off on humiliation. I think people have been saying this for a while, and the cards and spirit agree that there is some kind of getting off, feeling affection from humiliation in a sense. Okay, this is a sexual thing. The lily card doesn't appear in this particular spread, but that's involved. And if anything, I would call this the humiliation kink card. This is the BDSM card. It's the destructive kind, though. If we're going to continue along that route, she's long enjoyed the destructive type of humiliation, not the kind that gives a person more confidence, gives them strength to address daily situations in the public sphere that they would never feel comfortable with otherwise. This has never been the healthy kind of BDSM, and I've said that now in a reading from years past. I've said that before. Nothing's changed. Anchor is the central theme. Sorry, I tapped the desk. That's enough. There's a lot. This is a spiritual shit show, and Spirit's saying, grab some popcorn, sit back, and watch. Because it's going to be I've gotten the word cantankerous now a couple of different times. This is going to be cantankerous shit show of a nightmare times cubed. It's going to be pretty dramatic in the worst ways possible. So get ready to sit back and watch. If you got to this point, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves.